Okay, so it's gonna record. So I've made a folder here. First thing I would like to do is I would like to download all the files. Again, if you go to the Blackboard, go to week 2, scroll it all the way down. These are the files I will be working on. Okay, so let's see how much we can get it done today. So I'm going to download this one. Likewise, I'm going to download all the files. So when you click on it, you always see this download status here, right? So basically I always go to show in folder, and I'm going to take this file from here and put it on my desktop folder so that I have all the files in one place. Are you guys with me? Because as it is right now, it's in download folder. Okay, so the best way to do is Control X, and I will just go to the desktop here and put it here. And I guess I can right click on it and save target as, right? That could work as well. So I will, for the second file, I'll right click on it, save link as, and that's going to do the trick as well. That's right. So I'm going to go to desktop, and I created a folder, right? So I will save that there. So likewise, I will save all the files there. Okay, so I have all these files. That's the best thing to do. Whenever you are working on any files, make a folder, save all the files there, and we can go from there. Yeah. So are you guys with me? So I will open the first file, and here we will work on what we call VLOOKUP functions, NestedIf, COUNTIF, SUMIF. So these are some features we're gonna see. Now, how this VLOOKUP function work? Okay, VLOOKUP always needs a table. So there's a table given, right? Are you guys with me? So VLOOKUP always needs a table. VLOOKUP, what it does is it looks for a value that you supply in the first column. Okay, it looks for a value that you supply in the first column and give you the matching value from the column you specify. Are you guys with me? So for example, if I want to find the viscosity where density is 1.09, so what it's gonna do, it will take 1.09 here and matching value viscosity is 1.95 and return that one. Okay, now there are a couple of things that you need to understand with the VLOOKUP. One is there is something called approximate match and exact match. Okay, for approximate match, I have written it here. This column has to be sorted in ascending order. Okay, otherwise your approximate match will not work. Okay, are you guys with me? And for the approximate match, if you are looking for, let's say, value 1, give me the viscosity where density is 1, what do you think it's going to do? Do you see 1 there? No. So it's going to return the next higher value, which is lower than 1, and give you the viscosity for that value. Are you guys with me? Right. So but if you are looking for an exact match, for example 1.09, then ordering doesn't matter. Then your column could be sorted or not sorted, doesn't matter. That's the difference you have to keep in mind. Are you guys with me? Okay, let's do a couple of examples here. Find the value of 1 and return the matching value from column 2. Remember, VLOOKUP always looks for value in the first column. Okay, so that's a column. It's gonna always search for the value. Okay, so I've given you the formula here. We can do it here as well. Let's say here I'm gonna do it. Let's say equals to, I'm gonna say VLOOKUP. Okay, and the moment you type in VLOOKUP open parenthesis, it's gonna ask you what value you want to look up. Let's say I want to look up 1. Okay, and it's asking you the table array in which you would like to look up that value. So this is my entire table array. So I'm just going to supply this entire table here. Are you guys with me? All right, that's my table array, and I want to return the value from I want viscosity, so that's column number 2. Okay, after that I can specify true. See, if you say comma there, you see that, right? True for approximate match, false for exact match. So obviously we have to have it true, okay, for the approximate match. And true also means that if you omit it, don't supply any argument, by default it's true. Are you guys with me? So I will just close this one as it is, and that should do the trick, right? Now, as I said, if you change the sorting, this data might change because we are going for the approximate match. So let's see that. Let's say I'm going to go to data, let's just sort, right? So I'm going to sort it. Let's say if I change the density to, let's say, largest to smallest, so it's giving me the wrong answer. Do you see that? So if you are going for approximate match, always keep in mind you have to sort the first column in ascending order. Otherwise, you might get the wrong answer. Okay, so that's one thing. And these are the same thing. Let's say this one. Let's find the value of 0.7 and return the matching value in the column 3. Now 0.7, and we have to use the exact match. Okay, so if you're using the exact match, and if that value is not there, it's going to return the error. Okay, so for example, here I'm looking for VLOOKUP, right? I'm looking for 0.7, and I'm looking that value in this table array. Okay, and I want to return the value from the third column, and I want it to be false, which means I want to find the exact match. Are you guys with me? That formula is given here as well. That formula is given here as well. Okay.
Can you turn off that light right there?
Yes. Is this good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is better, I guess. You can see it better.
Yeah.
As long as it's not too hard on your eyes.
Yeah, it's good. This one is good. Okay, so this will return obviously NA, which means you are getting an error. Why you are getting an error? You are looking for an exact match, and 0.7 is not there. Okay, any questions? Okay, now sometimes you can NA is like not that user friendly to understand, right? So what we're gonna do is we will write little if error function to show no match found for NA, and I'm gonna do that here. Are you guys with me? It's very simple. Equals to, I'm gonna say if you type in if, it's gonna give you option. So I'm looking for if error. That's a function. Are you guys with me? And it's looking for the value. Let's say if value is something, I'm gonna say hash. What is my hash here? Hash n/a. That's the value. Say no match found. Right? In double quotes, okay? Right? So now this is much nicer, right? So I guess in your SAM project, you're supposed to use if error function. Okay, so just keep in mind it doesn't do anything. It just provides you more user-friendly ways to read the errors.
You're supposed to if error?
Yeah, if error, like
Okay.
if you type in if equal to if, it's going to give you the option. Okay, so choose if error. Yes.
How do we, so when it says if error, how does it know which cell to reference to look for the error? Do we want immediately preceding it, or how do we, you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So where is it looking for the hash and
Maybe that's a good question. What about if I just supply this one here? I guess that's a better way to do it, right? Yes, I don't know how it was able to find it. I guess empty cell, that means is taken as any. That was it means. But thanks for bringing that to my attention. Yeah. But obviously, this is the best way to do it. You have to reference that cell. Yeah. Right. Let's do one more. Find the value of 2 and return the matching value. No, we're just gonna do exact match. Let's say this one. Let's say I want to find the temperature, or let's say find the temperature where the density is 1.09. So again, I want to find the temperature where the density is 1.09. Okay, so 1.09 will be an exact match, right? Because we are looking for an exact match here. So here what I'm going to do here is, let's say here VLOOKUP, right? I'm gonna go for, okay, I'm looking for 1.09, right? I'm looking for that value in this particular array here, and then I want to return the value from which column? Number 3, right? Right, so that's going to give me that answer.
So you just clicked anywhere in the table and it.
No,
it put the
no, I
result.
selected the table. I selected a table like that.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yes. Mhm. Okay, so you understood VLOOKUP. A lot of people, they use VLOOKUP, but they don't understand the exact match and the approximate match difference. Okay, so make sure you keep that in mind. Okay.
Can I see the formula for the proximity?
Yeah, it's right there.
That's exact.
Yes. That's since it's finding the value, we should have set it false. But since that value is there, it's giving me the answer. Okay. But for the exact match, the beauty about the exact match is even if you shuffle the rows, it will still find it. So this need not be in ascending order. Right now, this was in an ascending order. So even it was default or true, it found the right answer. Okay.
So what does the 50 represent?
50 is the temperature where the density is 1.09. Okay. Okay. So far so good. Any questions here? So that's pretty much it about the VLOOKUP. Let's go to nested if. Okay. Now most of you know how if statement works, right? So you have if, let's say, logical test. If this is true, if this condition is true, do this, else do that. Okay. So this is gonna test. If this is supposed to be true, you will get this answer. If this is false, you'll get this answer. Does that make sense to you? So it's going to take test logic. For example, let's say is 5 less than 10. Okay, that's a logical test, right? If that is true, I will get this one. If this is false, I'll get this one. Okay, let's do it here. For example, you have this worksheet here. I'm gonna just clear this one up, this data, so that I can write the formulas there, right? So for example, I have students, I have their scores, okay, and I want to use simple if, and I want to show that if they score more than 90, just show excellent, otherwise show good in terms of their performance. So how would you do that? Equals, I'm going to say if, right? If I'm going to provide the logical test, if this particular cell value is greater than equals to 90, right? Say excellent. If that is not, then say good. So it's a little if statement. You can see the logical test there. Yes.
You did it, but you didn't mention the importance of putting it in quotation.
Yes. If it is a string, you must put that in double quotes.
If it's a what?
If it is a text, you must put that in double quotes. Okay, otherwise it will not work. That's a good point. Okay, so and then the beauty about Excel is you can just copy it down. 2013, I guess you just double click on it at the edge and it fills it up for you. All right, so any question in simple if? Let's do the nested if. That's how we do the grading, right? If your score is greater than equals to 90, you get an 8, right? If not, then if it is greater than 80, you get B, and hence fall, right? So let's do that. So basically, if I need to do that here, do I have a duster here? Yes. So I'm gonna say if score is greater than equals to 90, give me A, right? Then I'm gonna put another. If this is not right, then I'm gonna put another if condition here. If score is greater than equals to 80, give me B, right? If this is false, I'm gonna put another nested if here. If score is greater than equals to 70, right? Give me C, else D. Does that make sense to you? It is nested.
So you'll keep writing all those in the same
Yes.
equation.
Yes, pretty much here on the where the false goes. Okay, so if this is false, then it's gonna call another if statement. Then this will be executed. If this is false, it's gonna call another if statement. So it's nested inside. Okay, so let's do it here. So I'm gonna say, help me out here. If I'm gonna say this score, right, is greater than equals to 90, I'm just gonna click on this one, or maybe let's type it in. That's gonna be easy, A, right? And then I'm gonna put another if here, right? If same cell is greater than equals to 80, then give me B, right? And then I'm gonna put another one if this cell value is greater than equals to let's say 70, we get C. Else I'm just gonna complete it here. Let's say D. Okay. Now I need to close this 3 times for all the if statement. All right. Let me see if that's working. So this guy gets C, right? Because less than this thing, B, A, B, right? So that's right? So can you see that one? Is it big enough? Any questions there? Maybe I can copy this one and put it in Notepad. Is this better? Say font, I'm going to increase it. And then you can keep nesting. Okay. I'm recording this one and I will upload this on the YouTube. Send you the link so you will not miss anything. Basically. Okay. So far so good. So I'm going to keep moving on. Count if. Count function, basically it counts the value, how many cells have the values. Okay. For example, if I just do the count of this array here, it's gonna give me 4. Okay, so it's counting how many cell has number value in it. Okay, so for example here, count total number of cells containing numbers, range B2 B5, right? So here if I do that count equals to count, that's a function I want to count. If you read there, it says counts the number of cells in a range that contain numbers. Okay, so I'm gonna count this array here, and obviously it has all the cells have numbers, so it's gonna give me 4. Likewise, there is a function called count A, which is gonna count. If I do count A here, it's gonna count the number of cells in a range that are not empty. Okay, so that includes text, so it's gonna count the text as well. Are you guys with me? All right, so in this case I can just do this one here. Okay, equals count A, right? And then I'm going to count this one, and you know, these are very basic things, but you can go back and practice different variations. Okay,
Could you do it? Could you just where your cursor that? Could you just delete one of the column A on the data? Just delete one.
okay, let's do that. Let's delete this one.
Oh, go ahead. Let's see if it
Right,
automatically.
yes, that's a good way to test, right? And also if you use let's say here this count is supposed to work on numbers, right? What if I supply, instead of B2 I supply the text? Should not supposed to work, see, because count works on numbers, count A works on text or alphanumeric data. Does it make sense to you guys?
Does count A work on text and numbers?
Yes, non-empty cells. Okay,
You say count works on numbers,
yes,
and what was the other?
count A, for example here you see count A is a COUNTA
Right.
that works on any non-empty cells. Okay, and the beauty about Excel is when you open the formula bar, like, you know, it gives the definition right there, so always read that definition. Okay, it's very helpful. Okay, it's going to tell you everything. And you know, you can always, I take the help of Google a lot. Okay, so I guess that's a very good habit. If you don't understand or you want to see the example for a particular formula, just Google it and you'll find a lot of examples there. Count if goes a little one step ahead, and you can specify the criteria. For example, find the number of cells that contains apples in range A2 to A5, right? So okay, so here we're gonna use count if, and you read the definition there. Says counts the number of cells within a range that meet the given condition, right? So I'm gonna say I want to count, my range is this one, that's where I want to do the count, and I'm looking for particular fruit called apples, right? So that's how count if works. So you can specify the criteria, little simple things there. Okay, and some things are very interesting here. For example, let's say this one, find the number of cells that contains value greater than 55. Remember, count, what it does not do sum. Okay, it just counts the number of cells that satisfy that criteria. Okay, keep that in mind. Okay, because often people get confused. So here I want to count the number of cells that contains value greater than 75. So I will say here count if I want to count this number of cells here if they satisfy this criteria. See how they do it in double quotes, greater than 55. Even if it is number, you're looking for greater than 55, you have to include that in double quotes. Okay. Likewise, I have given you other examples. In once you're back home, you can practice those. Okay. Right. And then any other questions that you have here? Okay. Move on to sum if. Okay. Sum if is very much like count if, but you're summing some values given on a certain criteria. Okay. And I wanted to go a step further. I wanted to show you how we can use a common range as well as tables. Okay. So that's a table. Okay. And I'm assuming that you know how to convert a range into a table, right? I showed that last time, right? So it's very easy to do it. Okay. But let's see here. For example, that's a data set I have, category food and sale. Let's say I want to do the sum of the sales for all foods in the fruit category, right? So it's gonna take this one and sum their sales. Make sense? So here I'm gonna do equals to sum if, and is gonna say add the cells specified by a given condition or criteria. I'm gonna say sum if the range is the range I'm which looking for the criteria. So this is the range I'm gonna specify, B6 to B11. Are you guys with me? Right? Comma, I'm looking for fruits in double quotes, fruits. And I want to return the sum from this particular range. Right? So that's how sum if works. Okay, we can specify the criteria there. Okay. Right. This one is very important. Sum the sales of all food that ends in es, like tomato, oranges, apples. They all ends with es, right? So how would you specify that criteria? So that's the trick there. Star es. What? Yeah. What does it mean? It means, yeah, I don't care what characters you have in the beginning, but the last two characters should be es. Okay.
You can put that for the verse if you wanted them. ES, starting with ES and then anything after.
Yes, star. Yeah. Or even in the middle, if you have in the middle, star es star is gonna do the
Put
trick.
it anywhere you don't know what's.
Yes. Yes, you got it right. So sum if, I'm gonna say I want to sum the search criteria goes here, right? And I'm looking for specific values star es. So all the values that end with es, give me the sum of those values. So I'm gonna, my sum range is this one, right? Are you guys with me? Any questions? Okay. Now beauty about the table, we have this table, we can do the same thing, but things get very interesting and very easy in my case, like in my opinion. So equals, I want to find the sum of the sales for all foods in the fruit category. I'm going to still use sum if function, but now I have a table. I have given it a name called sales. Okay. So if you have a table, you know the name, you can just type in the name of that table. Are you guys with me? So that's a table name. And then if I open parenthesis, I can get all the fields in that table. Make sense? So I'm going to say, okay, I'm looking for the category, right? And what I'm looking for in the category, fruits. And then I want the sales from the sales table. Does that make sense to you guys? Right? Because a table is very important, and it's getting increasingly important because of the big data stuff. Okay, it's so easy to organize the data in the table and then use it in pivot tables, pivot charts, graphs, and those things becomes dynamic, which means that later on, if you add or remove the records from the table, your charts will be updated dynamically. It doesn't happen with the range. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Yes.
There's a resource called Tech on Net,
Okay.
and it gives you tutorials
Yes.
for all of these functions, and even has a
Yes.
tutorial for the Mac.
Yes. Oh, you will find ton of resources. I use YouTube all the time as well.
Well, this one just is like a big long cheat sheet, and it tells you every function,
Everything.
what it does, and it
Yes.
shows you how to do it.
Yes. Not only that, I always go to Microsoft Health site as well. You know, they have very good resources there as well, you know, and very user-friendly description, okay, of what we're looking for, right? So likewise, I guess let's do this one. You can even find the sale of all foods that do not have any category. So we have one right here that does not have any category. So here I would say equals to, you know, let's say sum if, right? My range is table name call sales, open parenthesis, category, right? And then I'm just gonna do two double quotes because that cell is empty. And then I'm going to say sales of sale, right? And that should give you the sum of those things. Okay, so any questions? Okay, so let me move on to the next one. I'm going to save this one. If you want, I'm going to upload this on the Blackboard, the in class spreadsheet, and the video file as well. Okay, so let's do okay. Okay, let's do the second one here. No, I'm not gonna do the second one. If I have time, I will come back to this one. Okay, but let's start with the third one. Okay, so sometimes in your science project, you've been asked to work with the range needs. Okay, like a table. You know, the beauty about the table is it defines the range for you, and you can do that structure referencing. Okay, but there is also something called as range names. You can define the range names. For example, I can call this particular range of cells as Canada, so that if I want to find the average, I don't need to select that cell. I can simply refer to the name. Does it make sense to you? The easiest way to create the names are, you know, select the entire range here, and then go to the formulas, create from selection. Okay, so here is gonna let me select from the selection, and my names appear on the left column. Okay, so it's going to create all these ranges, name ranges, and give the name appropriately. Okay, so I'm going to say okay here. I already created Canada. Is going to replace it. Please go ahead and do it. Okay, now how would you know what names you have created and what data they are referring to? Okay, for that you have to go to name manager. Okay, so if you click on name manager, you're going to see all those names there. Okay, now okay, so now if you see the Canada, you can edit this one and see what they are referring to, C4 to F4. Okay, so this is just to cross check what you have done, or if you want to cancel anything there or delete any range names, you can do that. Okay, so name manager is very important thing, even when it comes to, you know, giving a name to a table. Okay, you will always go back to name manager. Okay, so now we have those things here, right? For example, let's say I want to find the average value. So for example, let's see, put it here, let's say average sum min max, right? So average of Canada market. So yeah, I'm gonna say, you know, there is a function called average, right? Average of, I can just type in Canada. I don't need to select those ranges anymore. Are you guys with me? Right? I don't think if you copy it down, it's just gonna be a Canada because it's not gonna dynamically look for the names, and that makes sense, right? So here, if you want to find the average of Midwest, right? you can do that, and it's gonna do the Midwest, right? Likewise, you can use sum, mean, max, whatever you want with those names. Okay. Now, let's convert this. Are you guys with me so far? Any questions? Okay. Let's convert this to a table. So I'm gonna copy this one and put it here. Okay. And how to convert a normal range into a table? There you go. So we go to insert, we click on table. Okay. And it's gonna say my table has header. So the first one is the header, perfectly fine, and that's good enough, right? So now this is converted into a table. It's not a normal range anymore. Okay, but it gave a default name, which I don't know what name did it give to my table. Okay, unless and until you know that name, you can't do anything. Okay, so for that, who's gonna help me out here? Yes, formulas, name manager, and you'll see table. See different icon for the table and the range names. Okay, so I will click on table one, click on edit here, and say maybe sales again, sales data, whatever, right? So it give me that name there. Okay. Now you can find bunch of averages here. For example, let's say average. Okay. In fact, what you can do, here you can add, say, average, right? In one shot, you can add the average of all the markets. So here I'm gonna say average. Okay. Average of sales data. I guess, hold on, I'm doing something. I guess my table only refers to columns, not the rows. Okay, so I can find the average down here, but not on the side. On the side, you have to stick to the range names. At least I learned something new today, right? For example, here, that like we can go to design here. Okay, please go away. I can go to design here and say give me the total, right? And then you can drop this one down. Are you guys with me? And select average, whatever you want. So that's a little different thing. But if you want to do it on the side for all the years, then you have to stick to the name ranges. Okay.
Now, if you had created that column called average, and then you used the function average and then selected those cells, you would be all right. Like Canada, if you had selected, well, I can't see up there, but like C
Yeah, that's it.
25, D25, that range.
Average of, but you have to select the range, right?
Right.
Yeah, you can manually do it.
But in that case, you're still
Yes. Well, it's telling me like, it's
a table.
wow, this could work. Hold on. See, there is always something to learn, right? So for example, here, average of, let's say, this number. So it's a structure reference, still might work. Yeah, see, it's working, right? There is always something new to learn. And that's what is very exciting about technology. Thanks, Adam. Well, this is really something good. I wasn't expecting that. And today's date, you know how to use today's date function, right? You have to just type in equals to today, open parenthesis and close parenthesis. This is in your SAMS project 3 or 4. Okay, so you get the date today as well. Okay. right? So any questions here? Okay, good enough. Yeah, I guess we are doing very good today. Let's go to number 4. Now it's gonna get a little difficult. Okay, number 4, I will show you how to use interactive controls now. Okay, so for example, this one is like showing the trend, right? If you click on that checkbox, right? So you can use that interactivity kind of not much difficulty. If you go to second worksheet here, okay, uh, you see that you have a raw data, and that's the data we're going to be using. All the data we need to create those charts are here. Easier. Are you guys with me? Okay. So first thing first, what we need to do is we need to create a chart feeder like that. Okay, and base our chart based on that feeder. For example, this feeder here, you know, this is what is being used to plot this chart. Okay, now when you click on this checkbox here, what it does is it changes this to true. Okay, if this is true here, then there is a little if statement there. It's gonna pull the values from here and put it here. Are you guys with me? Okay, so let's do it. What I'm going to do here is, often what you can do is I'm going to copy this data here, let's say as it is, and let's say I'm going to put it here. Okay, not here, so here, right? And I'm going to say this is my chart feeder number 2. Okay, right? And I will delete this one here. First row, I'm going to put the if statement here. This cell I will designate as true or false. So I'm gonna just highlight that one, right? Okay. So we can show 2011 data. So I'm gonna put a question mark there. So that means if that is right, then right. If this is true, for example, here I can. Am I going too fast? Any questions? Are you guys with me? Right? Tell me what's the problem.
I can look at it online.
Okay, you sure? Okay, I can wait.
You good, man?
Okay. And this is being recorded, so you know you won't miss anything as such. Equals if, right? If this value here, I'm gonna put an absolute value there. If you press F4, that becomes an absolute. What does that mean? That reference will not change, even if you move or copy the formula down or across. Okay, that's what this dollar symbol means. Okay, so if you just press F4 right then and there, it's gonna put those dollar symbol in front of those column and row number. Okay, if that value is true, give me this value here. And this time I don't want to fix it because I'm going to copy it across, and I want
What value did they give you?
C12, right? Else give me an A. So I'm going to just type in, let's say that's a value looks like an A. Okay, I'm not putting that in double quotes. Okay, let me go to view here. Okay, so these are better maybe. So I can copy it to the right then, right? Because I have that absolute and relative referencing. Make sure you understand the difference, right? C12 is not an absolute reference, it's a relative reference. Okay, while A18 is an absolute reference. Okay, so
Mine doesn't work.
Okay. Okay. See the formula carefully.
Is
Okay.
A, 12. That's like NA wrong?
And yeah, you type it wrong.
Oh. You just said number.
Hash N slash A.
Why is that? And
Yes.
close current.
You have two parentheses. You should just
Number? That's what I did.
yes.
I had two parentheses.
Just try to recreate it. Yeah. So if I put true here,
We still got formatting on it.
say that again.
It went away now. When it was NA, it had that little,
So if it is a false, it's gonna be NA.
it had that little triangle in the corner where it wanted to do something with the format.
Yeah, I don't know, like it. This
See,
one.
all of yours have them. See a little
Yes.
triangle? It wants you to resolve an error.
No, I don't think it's an error, is it?
Click on the little triangle. in the
This one?
corner. Yeah, click on that.
No, so that is NA is there, right? So NA is not a value. Because that's the reason it's saying it.
It's asking you help with this error.
No, we don't need.
Calculation, ignore error.
Yeah, we are just ignoring it.
Oh, okay, just ignore it. Okay.
Yes. So again, what's the need of this thing here? We're gonna see the trick. Okay. Let's say you have this one. Now, is it working? If you put the true here, it's gonna show me the value. If it's gonna true false here, it will hide all the values. Okay. Now I'm gonna create a chart out of this selection here. Okay. I will select this one. I will go to insert here, and I will create a chart here. Okay. Are you guys with me?
You just highlighted all the values that's now created a chart.
Yes. Right. I will cut this chart and put it in my other worksheet. Okay. So I'm going to cut this one, Control X, and I'll put it somewhere here. Right. Are you guys with me? Right. Now what I'm going to do is I will change the axis for one of the 2011. So 2011 should be shown as a line. Okay. So I will go to design here, change chart type. Right. Did I go too fast there?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So go to design, change chart type. Right. Go to combo here, and here I can say 2012. I want it bar chart or cluster chart. 2011 I want it line.
I don't see change. Oh, change chart. And you change it to what?
Combo, yeah. 2011 line, 2012 cluster column. Are you guys with me? Right. So now it's showing both, but what I want is I want to see this 2011 only when you check the box. Okay. So now we're gonna work with the developer tool or controls. All of you have this developer tab here. If you do not have it, let me know.
Do we have one?
Okay, this developer tab. So if you don't have it there, we go to file. Okay, go to file, options, right? Customize ribbon, and in the customize ribbon, you have to select this developer. So it's going to show you that developer tab, which could be used for recording macros as well. Okay, go to file, options, and then customize ribbon.
Oh, customize ribbon. Yeah, that's customized.
Right.
Oh, customized ribbon. I was looking at toolbar.
Yeah, customize ribbon, and then on the right side, you should see that one.
I just checked it.
Yes, and if you do OK there, you should see that developer toolbar. Okay, so are you guys with me? Okay, so I'm gonna go to insert, and I want to insert what we call a checkbox. That's third checkbox, right? So I will click on that
Insert
checkbox, third.
under the developer.
Yeah, go to the developer, and then you
Insert, I
see
see.
insert, right?
Mhm.
And then checkbox. Do you see it there? Okay, click on that one, and once you click it here, it's gonna put it here. Okay, and once you put it there, you can change the name of the label. For example, here I can say I want this to something called show 2011 trend, right? And then just click outside. Are you guys with me? Anybody else need the help? Are you guys with me? Okay, so now what we have to do is we have to hook this checkbox value to the value here. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is right click on it, go to format control, right? And then cell link, right? You see that there in the control. If you right click on it, go to format control, cell link. I'm going to select this one, go to this box here and select this particular row or cell, right?
What did you select? Oh, wait, is it true?
Yeah,
Okay.
right? And then I'm going to say OK, and you're done with the magic,
Done with the magic.
right? So isn't that a cool thing? Like, you know, it adds that dynamic thing to the chart and makes it much more appealing, you know. Right, so any questions here? Right, all of you with me, guys? Okay,
I got how we linked it to the checkbox, but what is it actually telling it when you link it?
when you click it, it's going to put the true value here, and when you uncheck it, it's going to put the false value there.
So the action of checking or unchecking that box modifies the value.
Yes, that's all it does, and depending on this value, we modify these cells.
Now, how does it know, let's say you've got true in there and you set it up, how does it know that the unchecked value is false?
Because that's the value it's going to put it there. If it is it takes only two.
True and false is the only,
Yes, those are the only two values for check or uncheck.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, but for others like option button, it has different values which we're gonna see. Okay, so far so good. Let's go to the next one. Are you guys with me? Okay, let's ignore this one, this very similar thing. Let's go to option button here. All right, now
What tab are we on?
using option group controls, and the data that this particular one is using is here. Okay, so that's the data given to us. Okay, 4 quarters for income, expenses and net for 3 years. Okay, and what we need to do is we need to come up with a chart like this. So if you click on income, it's going to plot income. It will, if you say expense here, it's going to plot the expense. Net here is going to plot the expense. Now this is called option buttons. Okay, these options they're going to put in not true and false, but 1, 2, 3, depending on how many options you have. They are always part of a group. Okay, so here they are linked here. You see that option button choice. If you click here 1 income, that's going to put in 1 there, and if it is 1 here, I'm going to modify this table. Are you guys with me? Okay, are you ready to go ahead and do it? Let's do it. I'm gonna copy the structure as is. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy the structure, put it here, and I will delete all the values. Okay, why it's not deleting all the values? Let's see. Okay, so here I'm gonna put my feeder column. Maybe I'm gonna use a different color here, right? Option button, right? So we already have 3 option buttons, right? So it's going to be 1, 2, 3. I'm going to add 3 more. So I'm going to add 3 more, even if it is different one, it's on the same spreadsheet. So the counting will start 4, 5, 6. Are you guys with me? Right. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put in my formula here, equals if, right? If this value, I'm going to fix the referencing here, right? If this value is equals to, let's say 4, then give me incomes. Right? Let me just cross check what they did here, right? Yeah, that's what they did. So equals if this value f4 equals 4, then give me income, right? And then I'm gonna
2012 one, that's all, that's that triple one.
yes, 2012 income, that is B12, right? And I'm gonna put another nested if this value is f4 equals to 5, then give me 2012 expense, right? Else give me 2012 net.
What's the last part you put?
B20, which is 2012 net. I'm gonna copy this one and put it in a notepad, right?
What did you have to put to make those dollar signs appear again?
F4, just bring the cursor anywhere there or select highlight it. If you type it and do it right there, it does it automatically. F4 if you press. Otherwise, right now you have to highlight it and press F4. Did it work? Okay.
Yep.
So are you guys with me?
Okay. But yet you said if it equals 6,
Yeah, it's right here.
if it equals 5.
A27. In my case, A27 is this one. So you have to see yourself.
Okay. I thought you did 3 ifs. You only did
No,
one.
just 2. We just need 2 because there are only 3 options, right?
Oh, okay.
So the third one is the default one.
How come you only leave?
Yeah, because the value is going to be 4, 5, or 6, right?
Oh, after each if you don't have to put a open paren. You only put a open paren after the first. If.
Yes. And then when you close it, because that's a nested if, this entire if is going inside the first if.
Is there anything after that second if, a comma or anything? Nothing.
Nothing.
Okay.
Right.
But there you have all. See how many parens you have in that one?
2, right? Because I have 2 opening, one here, one here.
Okay, yeah, too. That's what I was asking. You said that you only need one.
Are you guys with me? Let's see. Yeah, so right now, let's say it's 4 here, right? So it's going to be income. Yes. And then, no, don't need to do for each of them. Just drag it. So if you just do it once, it basically works for everyone.
Vowel error.
You said you like programming, this is along like programming.
Yeah, it's little intro to programming. Yeah, yeah, it's fun because you can take more control of the spreadsheets. I used to do a lot of VBA coding inside the Excel, and I really enjoyed it. But programming is something which is, initially it's very frustrating when you're learning it. But once you learn it, it's like, you will never go back to this one. You just do it using programs. And it's easy to learn. Once you follow the logic, you will see. It's not that difficult. Is it working for you? If the division for B given B to the one. After equal to, you have a minus here, what? If before it.
How's that sneak in there? That's how that get in there. Okay. And you put a for this one.
Do it.
Okay, cool.
Right? Are you guys with me? Okay. So all I have to do now is drag it across and drag it down. Right? And then you can format it. For example, this one I want to show it as number. Right? I'll go to home, show me the numbers, and maybe 0 decimal places. Right? So if you, instead of 4, if you put it 5 there, right? So it's going to give me expenses, right? If you put it 6 there, it's going to give me net, right? So it's dynamically changing this thing. And all I need to do is just plot the chart based on that table and put those options button, and it's going to do the trick, right? So I will, are you guys with me? I will highlight this one and go to insert chart. I'm going to just say clustered column, right? Are you guys with me? And then I'm going to cut this one and put it in other worksheet here, right? Right, all I need to do is now create the option buttons. So I will go to, okay, please go away. Okay, developer here, go to insert, right, option button. So I will click on this one here, put it here, and I'm going to say this is my, what do you call, income, right? Likewise, I will put another 2. So this one I'm going to call expense, right? There's a trick to move it, okay? So make sure you understand that trick. First thing is always right click on it. So it will select the control, okay? And then you click anywhere else and then you can move around, okay? Otherwise it will be difficult to grab it and move it and you will be struggling. Go to insert another button here, and this one I'm gonna call net, right?
What did you name the second button?
Say it again.
What is the name of the second button?
Expense
The
and
third
third
button?
net. I can use those arrows as well to line it up, right? You know that I can change the background here. I can just select all these cells here, right? And give a nice background.
Will you change the name of the option button? Did it open up a dialog box?
No, you can just highlight it and do it there.
Every time I try to highlight, I get a dialog.
Right click on it, right? Or maybe you can just once you select it, see here, you can just do that, okay? For example,
Select it and it keeps opening up the
don't double click on it. If you double click on it, it might not work.
It won't keep
Okay.
opening up this strange box. Here, right over here, I try to highlight it. Yeah, it keeps opening up a dialog. Yeah, that's what I kept doing. Oh, no, I clicked something from the bottom.
Yeah,
There was another option,
Yeah.
radio button there.
yeah. So this is the one.
Okay.
So now what we have to do is we have to hook it up to those cell values. I can change the background here. For example, I can say, okay, give me this background, right? So it looks like a part of, not this one, but I want to maybe give a nice border here. Say no borders, and then I want to give thick border around. So it looks like, one picture frame. So it looks nicer, right? Now all I need to do is link this one. So I will right click on it, right? Go to format control, and I will link it to this one. Now always keep in mind, okay, these 6 radio buttons, they are part of a group, okay? You change cell link to any one button, it's going to change it for all of them, okay? Are you guys with me? Okay, so if I'm going to change with this one, I will go here, and if I see by default that is selected, okay, but I'm going to select this one, okay, and say okay. That means all of them, this one is also changed to that particular cell, and I can check this one. If I right click on it, format control, cell link is going to that one, because they are all part of a group, okay? So now this one, you can see that this is income, this is expense, this is net, right? This will not work because it only works for 1, 2, and 3, right? But we are not putting 1, 2, and 3. We don't have that thing there, because these values, they are linked to this cell, right? Not to this one. That's why that first chart will not work anymore. That makes sense to me, right? Any questions?
You're a little ahead of me.
Yes.
Okay, now how did you link the button? I was still naming them while you were going.
Right click on it, go to format control, yeah, click on that, yeah, and then select that one. 6, yeah, this one, and then it's okay. So here, okay. So here. So it's like dynamically linked.
Oh, so you only have to put it on one.
Yes, because they all are part of one group. Okay. So if you change for one, you are changing for all of them. Okay. So let's do the last one, and then I can give you a break for 10 minutes. Okay. This will take maybe 10 minutes to do it. Okay. So here we can do a combo box. Now combo box also put the number. For example, if you select Canada, it's gonna output 1 here, and you can do it in different sheets. Okay, so I'm just for the demonstration, like we will do everything in one sheet here, right? So for Canada it is 1, for West is gonna be 8. Are you guys with me? Right now we're gonna use a different function here. We'll, instead of, you can use if, because but if is going to be very lengthy here because you have 8 options, right? So we're going to use another function called index. Okay, and that's very simple to use. I will show you here. So first of all, this is the raw data given to us, so we're not going to mess with this one. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this structure here. I will copy this one and put it here. Okay, and delete the first column. Okay, now here I will output the value of my, let's say, checkbox or drop down box. Okay, so that's going to be my trigger, let's say. Right, makes sense? Right, now here what I'm going to do here is I will put an index. Now index function, what it does is let me just, yes, so what's the index? Index of Canada is 1, right? So if I use the index function, I'm gonna say, okay, look up the value of 1 in this array and return the value. So it's gonna take 1, go to this list and see 1 is right here, and it's gonna return Canada. Okay, so if I give you 8, it's gonna be West. If I give you 3, it's gonna look up the third 1, 2, and 3 and give me the North. Does that make sense to you guys? Right, so here I will do that thing here. Here equals, let's say I'm going to put in a value here 3 just to check it. Okay, so here equals index array. I'm going to say, okay, give me this array here. I'm going to look for this array, and I will, right now I'm going to press F4 right here. It's going to put dollar symbol in all of them. Right, look for this particular index in that array and return the value. So number 3 is what?
What comes under the comma?
Hold on. I'm doing something here. If it is Canada, I want to return what? I'm sorry, I want to return the value of 2012, right? This cell.
Oh, okay, so that was.
Comma, give me the value. So for, if it is Canada, the sale for 2012 is gonna be 730. Right now it's gonna give me 443. Does that make sense to you? So it just looks for index in a particular array and return the matching value.
So you
So
have to make that absolute, no?
no, because we're gonna copy it to the right.
Okay, so it's not that.
Yes. This one we're gonna fix. I-27 we have to fix it, right? Because we don't want this value to be changing.
Okay.
That's an absolute reference. Right?
Mhm.
I'm gonna close this one, and you see it's gonna give me the value for those things, right? And last year's sale is simply the copy of this one. So last year means 2011 here. Last year here means 2010. So if you see the formula here, it simply equals M27 in my case. Okay, is that clear, guys? So if you change the value here, let's say 4, it's going to change the values, right? Say 1 is going to give me the Canada. So this is lot more efficient in this case compared to if statement, but you can do a lot of nested if statement if you want. Okay, is that clear? Okay, so should I go ahead and plot? So let's do the plotting here. I will select all of this thing here, right? And this time we have to do a barometer chart. This is called a barometer, and there's a trick to plot it, because what we want to do is we want to measure the current year performance compared to the last year. Are you guys with me? Right, so best way to do this one is I'm gonna highlight this one here, let's say this one. I will not select the last column, okay, and go to insert stacked column. So far so good. I wasn't looking for this, hold on. Yeah, why this is being selected? I don't want to select this one. Let's delete that one. Let's see this one. Yeah, now it's working. So take out that top column, okay, and then select this range here, stack column,
With that.
clustered column, right? Am I going too fast? Are you guys with me?
Hard to see.
Yeah.
Insert cluster, okay.
Right, so I'm gonna again do it. I will select this 3 here, right? So I got this nice looking graph here. Now I'll just put it here. I can drag it anywhere you want it. Okay. Now what I want here is, I want to convert this into a barometer or thermometer chart, right? So what I'm going to do here is, there is a little trick here. If you can pay close attention here. Let's do that. I will select the last year, right? And I will go to the change chart type here. Are you guys with me? Yeah. Right, I will go to change chart type here, and I'm going to put this one, I guess you can do any, but let's put the last year on the secondary chart. Okay, right, so it's going to start overlapping it. That's perfectly fine. That's what you want. Are you guys with me? Say okay here. Okay,
You changed it to what kind of chart?
just put it on the secondary axis. Go to look here, select this one, go to change chart type, right, go to combo, right,
What's that?
design,
Okay.
yes, and then last year still be gonna be cluster, put it on secondary axis, right? So it's gonna start overlapping both the data series, right?
So the one you check is the secondary? Oh, yes. Yes. I see.
Right, so I will say okay here. Right, now I'm gonna start changing this one. For example, current year is blue, and this one I want to format, right? So I will select the red one here. That's the last year, right? In my case, are you guys with me? I will go to format. That's the easiest way I found it, but there are many ways to do it. Okay, format selection.
Format, I'm sorry. It's hard to see that screen. What did you format again? Format?
All the way to the left.
I
Format,
can't see it.
yeah.
It's blank over there.
Format selection.
Okay. Oh, okay, I see.
Okay, maybe just a bit like that for 5 more minutes. Right. So format selection, right? Make sure you selected the last year. Okay. Okay. So we'll go to format selection here. It will open up this one, and yeah, let's see that. Yeah, you can make it smaller. It's gonna increase the width, right? Gap width, right? Whatever width you want it, right? You might not have selected this one. Let me complete this one,
Okay.
and I will come and help you out. Right? So I will go to here, and
You gotta let it go.
yeah, I go to fill. Are you guys with me? Am I going too fast? Brianna, did I say it right? Brianna.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. So here I will go to the solid fill, right? And I will drop this one down and select some other color here and increase the transparency, right? That looks good. Right? So that's giving a like impression of kind of a thermometer chart. You have last year target versus current year sale, and you can compare, right? So far so good, right? Are you guys with me? Anybody need any help here? Okay, now all we need to do is put those what do we call, we can delete this secondary axis, right? We don't want it. Select this one and hit the delete button, and it will take it out. Okay, now I want to put the control there, so I will go to developer here, insert, right? And second option is the combo box, right? Click on the combo box here, and you can put it anywhere. I'll just put it here, right? I will right click on it, go to format control, right? And input range, I will click on input range and select this one here, right? For the input range, and for the cell link, I'm going to create this one. So click on that one, and you are pretty much done, right? You say okay here, select Canada, right? Select Northeast, right? Southwest. So, and you can hide this one. For example, you can put this one all the way either on the separate sheet or all the way at the right, hidden somewhere, right? So that this data won't be seen, but people just see this much. So you can select the Northeast, and it's gonna change the chart type.
But this is a pivot table automatically do all these for you.
Pivot table is another option, but even with the pivot table, you cannot dynamically change it. Once you select it, it's going to be like that. So either you have to use this kind of controls, or we can also do macros. You can also write macros that's going to do this for you.
What do you call this type of control?
These are interactive controls.
Interactive.
Yes, because you can virtually interact with the spreadsheet using this kind of control. That's why they call it maybe. Right? Any more questions So are you guys up for break?
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a 10 minutes break and then we'll continue from there. Okay.